Hello, I'm Ben Saltzman, and this is my wife, Karina Saltzman, and we are 2 weeks into a 3-week vacation, flying high in Manch. And we decided that we would shoot a series of videos, and this is episode 2 of the Salties, and give you the inside scoop on our relationships and the relationship dynamics, and kind of what do we do to be in long-term intimate relationship as part of our path, of spiritual evolution and emotional healing, and how do we kind of work through some of the and rubbing each other the wrong way and dealing with life when you have 2 businesses and a 7-year-old daughter and you want to take care of your body and you care about spirituality
and you're getting older,
and
so there's more stuff to do,
you want to eat well and prepare your food. I mean, there's just like a lot of things that you kind of juggle these days. And we wanted to talk about how we do it and fall flat and how do we do it when it goes well. And we were having a lot of conversations. And I was like, honey, let's video these and get them out for the people. So we're going to chat and sometimes talk to you, but often talk to each other about what's been going on.
Yeah. So I think one thing that has come up for me over this trip was just noticing with your family the way there was this implicit expectation, right? Or I don't even know if it was an implicit expectation, non-spoken. We say there's a lot of unspoken agreements on the East Coast, you know?
I think they're everywhere.
But tends to be more East Coast, top secret unspoken family agreements. And so one of those felt like that one of the agreements was the women actually tend to the cooking and the laundry in the house.
Right.
And the men sort of
are
expected to do a little bit, but actually have more freedom. And I was telling Ben, it's weird because that's not our agreement.
Right.
Like, I run a business. We have home support some because we can afford it because we both have full lives, right?
Yeah, and we value getting support for our lives, and we're both financially contributing to the household, and so there's more shared responsibility and shared around cleaning and cooking, and it's been worked out. There's a lot of conversations.
It has been a long-term negotiation, and I think that
it's never done.
No,
like we do it, and then 2 years later, it's like, well, that's not going to fit.
Well, I'm making a lot more money now, and maybe we'll do it this way, right? Or Jordan's older now, and
so it's negotiated, which is beautiful. Like, we encourage being overt and negotiating and putting them out on the table, and you got to be open to this can change.
And we're not always. It's not always something we're both happy with. That's the other thing, is I don't come away going like I'm really happy with that. I would be happy with 50. I've always said that, right? And you're like, no, I'm not gonna be with our child that much.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
So it is it's not like it's total happiness.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to take one for the team and.
Right.
Yeah.
But the point I want to make, and this is particularly to women, I think, is that clear agreements as you're entering into clear agreements in our relationship have been critical to me feeling empowered and not victimized.
Right.
And I think because the generational gravity for women is so powerful.
Talk about that, because this is a big one. What's the generational gravity?
The generational gravity is for generations, we have been expected to provide a certain care for the home and for the family and for this, but we haven't necessarily been expected to grow a business. Right? And so to really not get pulled into that and to prioritize if you want that, great. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but if you want a domestic support life where you support the family and your partner works and has a finance, and that's your agreement, and it works beautifully, great.
And we know couples where that happens both ways. So we know couples where the woman is primarily taking care of the home and the kids, and the man is out bringing home the bacon.
Right.
And the reverse.
Yeah.
Where the man is home and he's primarily responsible for the kids, and the woman's out
Right.
bringing home the bacon.
And he sometimes gets judged by society,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
For like, why isn't he bringing home the bacon?
Yeah, and sometimes his
Yeah.
masculinity is at stake and gets
Yeah.
questioned, and there's like a lot.
And I think women
But
get judged
I've seen
too,
it worked.
right? I mean, I think women get judged for why is she out doing that and not supporting. So anyhow, I come back to this sort of gravitational pull of how do we empower ourselves in relationship and create agreements where we're both empowered.
Yeah. And where
That's
they're,
what.
and where they're as clear as possible, knowing that there's going to be gray area, knowing that there's going to be times when I step on your feelings, you step on my feelings, and we got to work them out.
Mm-hmm.
You got to work that stuff out.
And I think we're a new generation, and the next generation seems to have a little more equality.
Yeah.
But our playing field is different
Yeah.
than say your parents' generation or that generation, and you're actually more supportive of me being empowered and my business and me being sort of a strong woman.
I love that
doesn't.
about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm into it. Bring home the bacon, baby. Get me off of that frying pan. When I was just saying we got to work this out, I was thinking about like our agreements around how we argue save us a lot of angst and headache. And I don't want to do it on this episode, but
Okay, maybe the next one.
Yeah, like in one of the next couple episodes, like let's talk about how do we argue, what are the agreements, how do we make it so there's no permanent damage done,
Yeah.
how do we spend like less time arguing so there's more time loving.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, anything that you want to say to wrap this one up?
I just come back to creating clear agreements and clear expectations of what is it we're both agreeing to, because that's what we come back to ultimately.
Like what would be an example of that? What would be, just before we wrap? I'll give you guys, while she's thinking about a really deep and meaningful example, one agreement that we have is don't buy anything you have to assemble.
This is true.
Because we have bought stuff from IKEA that's taken us 2, 3, 4 hours to assemble with lost pieces. And that was one of the hardest things that we dealt with as a couple for months.
I think one of the things that comes true for me, this is more sort of deep and meaningful to me, is that our time, that there's a value of I'm not doing all the child care, that we have an explicit agreement of you're an active parent.
Yes.
And you're clear on what time what days you pick her up, what days you drop her off, when we have support. Like we're both in what's right for us, and I'm not assuming, you're not assuming you're an offhands dad.
Yeah,
You're
like on
really
those
an
days when
all-hands
I
dad.
have our 7-year-old daughter Jordan, when I'm responsible for her, like they're my days.
She
So,
gets sick, the school calls, he's on, right?
Yeah.
It's off me. Those are my full work days.
there's vacation
Those
happening.
are so important.
Like,
because typically
yeah.
what'll happen is the woman will take on that regardless.
Yeah.
And it is a dangerous place for us ladies. I mean, it just is. We've got to stop doing that and start really just handing it off and going, okay, honey, your days are Monday, Thursday. I'll take the other,
Yeah.
and we'll make it work. So
And we can do it, dads.
we can both be empowered.
That's right. All right, so that's the end. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.